Welcome everyone. The topic for the discussion is managers' roles in employee engagement. We will specify the role of the managers as to what is expected out of him or her to engage the employees in a much more productive fashion. So, why employee engagement? Basically, an engaged employee is aware of the business context, works with colleagues to improve the job performance, and thereby benefits the organization in general and benefits the employee in particular too. So basically, employee goes beyond the basic job responsibility. Why? Because the employee wants to delight the customer. Why? Because the employee want to ensure that the organization meets its objective. Why? Because it adds to the bottom line and takes the business forward. Engagement is closely related to job involvement and flow, and that is the reason why employee engagement is much more the preferred option as such. So, definitions of engagements, as we say about it, it is all about unlocking the employee's potential to encourage performances. Now, what does it mean? It means employee has a potential which needs to be realized, and the company has a performance or objective which has been set around it. If both of them matches, there is something called an employee engagements, which results in the extra effort that has been put by the employee to ensure that the company meets its objective, to ensure that the employee is enjoying the job that the person is actually doing for. So it is resulting in a discretionary effort out there, and that is what is being meant by the engagement. What exactly an employee engagement? In simple terms, it is the level of commitment and involvement an employee has towards the organization and its values thereby. So that is what to be defined as employee engagement altogether. The simplest of all form. Employee engagement is a deep and broad connection the employee have with an organization that result in a willingness to go beyond their skins and reach and service the customer so as to make them a memorable event in their life. Probably that is where the organization succeed. That is where the employee sparkles and the employee shines altogether. That is what I say is engagement. Employee satisfaction vis-a-vis employee engagement. Let us understand what is satisfaction and what is engagement. Remember, they are not same. Absolutely not same. A satisfied employee are merely happy, content with their jobs, with the status quo. For some, this might involve a little work, as little work as possible. Whereas engaged employee goes beyond his or her skin to delight a customer. This is not in order to be keeping their jobs, or they are not suffering from job insecurity. It is the pleasure of doing the business with them. They enjoying doing their job, and that is what employee engagement is all about. It they are the motivated lot. So employee satisfaction only deals with how happy or content and employees are, covers the basic concern and the needs of the employee, and does not address the employee level beyond a level, beyond an involvement, and beyond a motivation. So, what exactly is employee engagement and what is it not? Let us first tell you what exactly is employee engagement. Not at all. First, it is not a things. It is not having the best of the amenity or resources or the situation, avoiding to make tough decision. It is not employee engagement. Pleasing the people all the time, again it is not an employee engagement. You are not buttering anyone, and it is not a catchphrase of an HR program gone around it. What exactly is employee engagement? It is how we treat and relate to people. It is how genuine we are. It is all about shared responsibility of creating our futures together in terms of business success and the work environment, being clear and aligned with the purpose and the goals, interaction between the employees at every level, opportunities for performers, staff development, and so on and so forth. That is what is employee engagement is all about. It is a mutual beneficial things, and there are no obligations to it. There are no stakes or punishment all about it. It is not about detrimental effect. It is all about positivity. That is all about business environment, the environment we talk about it. Remember, employee engagement model is based on statistical analysis and widely supported by the industry research. This is what I've been trying to tell it to you. It is widely supported by the industry research. Whether we are talking about engagement with an organization, with the bosses, it is all about strategic alignment and competency. In short, what are we trying to tell it to you? It is all about the high performance team that we want to go around it. This exactly is an employee engagement framework. Again, repeating it: engagement with the organization, engagement with the seniors. What the strategic alignment and the competency of the employee itself are integral part of the employee engagement process, or the framework, as you may call it. So, engagement with the organization measures how engaged employees are with the organization as a whole. What is the sense of belongingness that an employee has towards the organization? Are the employees at all loyal to the organization? Will the employee stand with the organization at at the time of dire requirement, dire circumstances? Includes employees feeling and the perception of senior management. That is what I've been telling it to you with the word called loyalty. Key component includes trust, fairness, values, and respect. That is how people are to be treated by others, both at work and outside the work. Engagement with my managers. Let us understand the second quadrant as such. A more specific how employee feels with the direct supervisor, the relationship that they share, the camaraderie that they believe in, the trust, the faith that they have in each other. This is what is a specific measure of a boss and a subordinate relationship is all about her. For most, this factor has the highest impact and the most valuable criteria in their day to day work life. So, factors include mutual respect, feeling valued, treated being fairly, receiving feedback and direction thereby. This is all about the engagement with my manager, with my senior, with that I'm talking about it. Beyond engagement is all about your competency or your alignment with the company's objectives, your objectives and company's objectives. How aligned are they? How symmetry are there? An organization need just more than an engaged employees. Why? Because it wants to succeed. It has to have not employees but engaged employees. There are two additional areas that relates to employee performance and are closely linked with strategic alignment and competency. These are the two things that we want to go about it. To understand strategic alliances, please try to answer this question. Does the organization have a clear strategy or set of goals? Are you specifically knowing what exactly is happening in the organization? Or just because somebody is directing you or asking you to do, you are going with the flow of the motion? Do you have a clear concept? Are you aware of what how things are going to shape up in the future? This is one of the questions that you need to answer. Do employees understand the work that they do in order to contribute to the organization's success? One more thing about the alignment: does your work actually contribute to the bottom line? How vital are you to the success of the organization? Because the moment you realize that you are contributing substantially to the overall growth of the organization, you get motivated all by yourself. You don't require an external stimulus. The mere knowledge, the mere fact that you are an integral part of the organization benefits you in the long run. Definitely yes. The third question is all about strategic alignment, ensuring that the employing effort are focused at the right direction. Remember, you might be doing the right thing but it doesn't adds up, it doesn't looks up to the company's objective. Does it do you feel motivated? Probably you feel down. You are not feeling integrated to the organization. Are you included in the decision making? Do you have a say to the problems that you are facing, to the issue that has been raised around it? Does somebody answer it? This is the question that goes around it. It is all about strategic alignment, which basically focuses on the employee's effort, whether they are in the right directions or not. Let us understand the word competency. Now, the question that you need to ask is: do managers have the skill needed for the doing the job? That is one of the best things. At times, what happens is we see seniors and leaders occupying a higher pedestal and drawing fat salaries, but they are hardly contributing to it. The mere fact that the mere fact, the mere knowledge that they are not contributing and still drawing a fat salary demotivates a lot about it. So it is all about competency. You have to have right people at the right places, and they must be giving right kind of output, right kind of stimulus, because it percolates down everywhere. The energy is basically having a dominoes effect all around it. So that is what we need to understand. Do you have the qualification? Do you have the attitude? Do you have the perseverance of doing or impacting upon the job? The next question is, do manager display the behavior needed to motivate people? This is something which we need to understand. Do we effuse confidence, motivation among the employees all the way around? Competency is measured with 360-degree feedback. This is what we tell about it. Remember what we are looking at. Categories of employee, there are basically three categories. Number one is the actively engaged category. Then there is somebody called not engaged at all, or possibly we will say they are absolutely in between categories. They are going by the wrong things. And then there are categories which are absolutely not engaged altogether. So these are the three categories that we need to understand. What are they? Actively engaged, not engaged, and actively disengaged. The three categories of employee that I stating out to you. Let me categorize them and tell you the characteristics. Actively engaged employees work with passion. They have a profound connection with the people, with the company. They take pride in their job. They innovate. They want to see the company making advancement in the industry altogether. They are known as builders. They know what has been expected out of them, and duly strive to achieve them, perform consistently at a higher level. Passion, innovation at work are some of their vital traits, as the case may be. Now, what is non engaged? Non engaged employees are essentially checked out. They are sleepwalking throughout the workday. They are just enacting the work order which has been given to them. They are going through the motion as if they have got nothing to lose as such. Why and still why they are going to the motion, because at the end of the week, at the end of the fortnight, or at the end of the month, they will be getting something called salary incentives at work. They are more interested in tasks rather than on goal, as in on the duties that we talk about. It tends to feel that their contribution has been overlooked and their potential has been tapped. An unproductive relationship with managers or co-workers exists out here. This is what is very detrimental altogether. There are nothing productive around. Then there are people who are actively disengaged. These are people, not only they are not going through the notions, not only they are passionate about their job, in fact they are detrimental to the organization. They are just unhappy about their work. They are busy acting unhappiness, spreading the negative energy that they have within them into their of colleagues and all. Basically they are virtually against everything in the organization. They are cave dwellers, unhappy at the work. They show the seat of negativity at any given opportunity. What did I say? The spread all wrong things, wrong notion, rumors in the organization. Basically they are undermining themselves and their company, everything that they accomplish. This is what we are talking by actively disengage, as we have been saying around it. Remember, this cause the greatest of damages to the organization that we come across. Then what do we go about here? So we have been saying around is not engaged is approximately 55%. The bulk of the field is of 55% that is not engaged. On the other hand, actively engaged is somewhere on 30% that we speak around it. This is the vital percentage of employee who actually pulls the profitability of the company. And then this is 15%, which is the absolutely disengaged percentage that comes around it. So we need to work with what, 55 plus 30 at worst. At the best case scenario, that makes 85% of the workforce are working in some form or the other to taking the productivity of the organization. But if this 55 gets on the side of actively disengagement, it is again putting a catastrophic effect of 70% at the large scale of the thing, which might upset the working pattern of the organization or the smooth operation thereby. So we need to understand employee engagement at an average organization that goes around it. Remember what we are talking about it when we are talking about the tenures in terms of duration, which moves from low to high on our x-axis, and about the employee engagement, which has been marked on your y-axis. If you want to go around it, there are four quadrants. So when the turnovers, the duration is high, and the productivity is also very high, the engagement is also high, we have star employees or believers out there. On the other hand, or the other way around, that where neither the employees are very engaged, nor are they very old in the organization. So what do we say? We say goodbye to them. That's the red quadrant that goes around it. It is all about being into these two quarters that we need to work upon. Remember, where employees are highly engaged, but probably they are new to the organization. So they have a inquisitive mind to learn, to pick up the tricks. On the other hand, there would be certain people who are actively disengaged but have spent a lengthier, heavier span of time in the organization. These are basically nobody but paperweights altogether. We just have to pull along with them. That is what we look into it as an employee engagement grade, as the case might be. So, what do we say? This is what we are going around it. We want to push the believers to the higher echelon, give them bigger responsibility. We want to groom the inquisitive people who are actively engaged. We need to groom them up for the future roles, and the paperweights we need to keep on brushing as far as the training and development are concerned from time to time before they say goodbye to us, or we give them enough chance to improve themselves altogether. But it is the people who are actively disengaged and new to the organization. We ensure that there is a partition or there is a separation process happening between the employees and the organization. So, employee engagement grade, the red grade, as I said, is a goodbye grade, wherein we have to have show the door to the disengaged from business goals and the organization goals. They are the people whom we have got no signs of interest in the future of the organization and try to hide under frivolous of excuses for being new. Whereas the people who are paperweights are essentially spent a longest period of time in the organization. So what does this mean? They are loyal to the organization, but from the ringside view, and do not matter much. They would like to be passengers in the growing organization. They will not take the responsibility. They will like to just be going with the flow altogether. Altogether, they would want their muscle their way up on the top by social power and nothing comes around it. In terms of inquisitiveness, is this is the people where they are actively engaged but relatively new to the organization. So what do? We can nurture them. We can channelize their energy. In the modern game, each player would like to know just what part they're going to play. They can add value to the game as such. Having employees in this category sets the tones for the brighter future. The ones who care about the organization goals, new strategies, they are the organization biggest of assets, brand ambassadors that goes around it. It has to be a best continuity plan of homegrown executive. What you would understand as an organization, ideologies are better in most of the cases. Remember, these are the believers who believes in the organization ability. These are the people who are asset to the organization. In fact, I would not call them, not fall short of calling them as a brand ambassador. They are our very own homegrown out there. So your observations and challenges, what are the most difficult and the right now in terms of keeping in employees engagement? You need to tell me. So, what are the most impactful things that you have done? And what are you doing right now to strengthen the engagement? This is what we need to answer as far as observations and challenges are concerned. Drivers of engagement, like what matters most? Basically two things. We have two techniques that enables to identify what to focus and what to neglect for the time being. Number one being the priority level. We look at the statistical pattern across all groups in our organization to determine which items are impacting in the overall engagement within the each democratic group or demographic group, as the case might be. Whereas in the virtual focus group, by next we ask to target the follow-up question. At the end of the survey, the employee needs to give us suitable example as well as suggestion as to how to improve. This is what we are going to talk about, the employee engagement dynamics might be. Remember the dual role of an effective manager. The first role being the manage the employees' work, your subordinate works, your performance, their performances. What is the role number two is to manage the employee relationship. So one is the work task related, the other one is a role of two being people related. So we are talking about the employee, we're talking about the managers, both of the companies and the job that comes around it. The terms and condition needs to be on a very strong foundation. Being honest, being integrity, respect, trust, and in personal credibility of an individual should never be suffered at all. In fact, the flag of these qualities should always be fluttering very high on the topmost part of the. So we take about the first role, wherein we are looking at the task role of the employees, as in the work and the performances. What do we do? There are basically that needs to be done every now and then. This is what we are looking at it. So, first and foremost is to clarify the performance expectation, provide a fair share of informal feedback, not logging it out. If things are going wrong, please share it with your subordinate. Tell them what is going wrong. Expect them to improve upon their performances. Do not log them out. This is a chance where you're giving as a friendly advice. Emphasize on the employee strength is ongoing discussion and the performance review. Always giving a constructive feedback as to balance what is going good and vis-a-vis what things could have been improved as such. So leverage the employee fit and the motivation factors and help build a problem altogether. This is all about the tasks that we need to go around these. The top five most is all about the tasks and the bottom five most will all about the roles that comes around it. This is where we amplify the filters for it, the relationship between what is good and what is bad. Connect the employees with the company's objective, company's success. Now, what do we do about performance culture? There are three things that can be done. Number one being open communication, flexibility, and innovation. So connect with the employees, with the talented co-workers. Make a connect. If you are not, if people are viewing you as an superordinate, a boss or a supervisor, whatever you want to call yourself, and thus there is a distance between you two, why don't you build a bridge with the same level of employees who are doing wonderfully well in their capacity? Connect with the talented co-workers is what the next mantra should be all about it. Demonstrate the credible commitment to the employee development as the key. So how do we go about the employee engagement? There are five factions. Know them, grow them, inspire them, involve them, and reward them. Nothing like it. First is know them, get to know them, make friends with them, grow with them, inspire them, lead them from the front, show them how the things has to be done. Then involve them, make them participative, make them execute the issues. Then probably reward them when things are going good. Why not recognize them? Why not appreciate them? These are the five actions that can convert an enrolled and enlist that disenchanted. It is all about engagement. Disengagement gap is the gap that is created by the agency when it is executing a strategy despite of its people rather than through them. So despite the people, despite the workforce that you have, you execute the tasks and you don't execute it through them. That's the irony out here, which detrimental. Methods of engaging from entry to exit. Remember, the right person at the right position is half the battle won. You should have to give them a realistic, all about realistic job preview. A strong induction and orientation program helps. It doesn't matter how weak the employee might be. Rigorous training and development from tactical to soft skill to leadership development program is what we are looking into it. Regular technical and soft skill update, certification program to drive people towards the excellent performances. That is what is required. Now, employee engagement approaches from all the employees. How do you go about it? The communication activities, the reward schemes, activities to build the culture of an organization, team building activities, and leadership development activities that comes around it. These are the processes of employee engagement approaches for the employees. Remember, and employee engagement approaches can communicate active communication activities, helps employee find what is going on within the company from outside or immediately at the team, help create environment of trust and openness within the organization. This is all about communication that you can do it all about it. This is what we are looking as such. Employee who feels they are listened to are being able to express dissatisfaction and work together to resolve their causes. Why we are talking about the employee engagement approaches is all about communication. Communication gives us a regular feedback. It can be done in your uh, people can be acknowledged in your in-house magazine, online communication including the discussion boards, monthly updates as far as corporate goals are given, satisfaction survey, employee opinion can be solicited, and it can be published on a regular fashion, employee feedback including the opinion and peer that needs to be done about it. Remember, the absence of financial benefit or rewards is a significant demotivator. At the end of the day, everybody has joined a company to earn some kind of salary or remuneration that we want to go around it. Reward schemes should be removed, are required to remove the barriers of satisfaction. This is where you can incentivize every of the parameters that has been added to by the company or the goal that had been sent by it. Every level there should be, everybody should be given a scope to improve their remuneration in the form of incentives. This will motivate them to work in the right direction, be focused, and always engage with the organizational goal. To give those who are motivated the financial gains and opportunities to level this thing is very truly said. As far as the reward schemes are going around it, at the end of the day, everybody is here to earn something and take something home for a bread and butter on their table for family. So reward schemes, compensation and benefit schemes does works around it. And when I say compensation and benefit, people might think every organization give, but I would love to add the word called fair compensation, fair benefit. We can have stock ownership and profit sharing, the recognition program as in incentives that we can go around it. Idea collection scheme linked to rewards for idea generation, long service and good performance is the thing that we need to go around it. So, capture or culture building activities. How do we go around it? First, give employee a sense of feeling for belongingness. Create a thriving organization that people feel committed to. Create such an image of the organization that other wants to join. This is very clearly stated out here. Giving employees a feeling of belongingness, creating a thriving organization that people feel committed to, creating such an image of an organization that other want to join altogether. Remember, what we are looking into is have a clear stated human HR policies, corporate roles, responsibilities, and so on so forth, and equal opportunities for policies and practices thereby. This is what we are looking into with initiative to maintain a work-life balance. Developing an inspiring work environment is what essentially would love to build a culture and have a transparent work ethos, work ethics in the organization. What are they? Clear and human HR policy, pro-social corporate objective, CSR, equal opportunities for policies and practices, work-life balances, and wonderful work environment that we go around it. Now comes to the team building activities. Always remember small team recreational activities such as bowling, games, trips to cinema acts as a cohesive team. Then we have the social activities such as family gathering and event, community outreach activities such as volunteering and fun can be taken care of. We are talking about leadership development policies as in effective leadership, effective performance management, fair evaluation of performances, empowerment through effective delegation, coaching and mentoring activities, open and a transparent culture that comes around it. These are things that needs to be understood time and again. What is it? Effective leadership, effective performance management, fair evaluation of performances, empowerment through effective delegation, coaching and mentoring activities, and open and a transparent that comes around it. So let us wind up with the importance of engagement. What does it gives us? It gives us a better performance. It gives me a better communication. It tells me about the greater satisfaction of the customers. Remember, and engaged employees work smarter and they're not essentially harder. They keep on looking ways to improve upon their performances, improve upon their efficiency, lower the cost of the company, and provide better quality product and services. What about the communication part? Employees communicate, they share information with their colleagues, they pass on the ideas, suggestion, advices, they speak up for the organization. This leads to better performances and greater innovations and happier customer. Engage employee go out of their way to meet the customers' needs. Customers aren't slow to notice that these leads are of higher level of repeat at a wonderful cost. What else can have an engaged employee? It helps me in a better team working. What does it means? That means there is a transparent process, strategies, principles, cultures, and purpose in the organization. It is a matter of commitment and encouragement. It focuses on the business result and nothing else. What else can it give? Gives me? It gives me a commitment, which tells me that engaged employees are going to be in the organization for a longer haul of things, longer time duration. They will take pride in their work of their company and will get better with each passing day. Lower turnover means greater ability to recruit great people. That is low attrition. They seek people who can help them achieve the company's objectives faster and quicker. So employee turnovers are all about attrition rate, which goes down. If you look at the passage of the time, this x-axis being on a time duration, which we are talking about it, we are speaking time, and this is where the number of employees been hired. It's the employees on the y-axis. So if you see over a period of time, the attrition rate reduces. It's a slow rate. So from 24% it becomes 3%. If you have employees, what else does it means? It gives me higher productivity. At the end of the day, all my engaged employees are going to give thrilling experience to the customers. That means at a wonderful repeat business, our wonderful repeat business is all about productivity and performance addition to the bottom line. They are approximately 50% more productive than colleagues who are not engaged. Remember, this we are looking into it. Low cost, yes, engaged employees will always try to curtail the cost and pilferages thereby. Engaged employees will not take leave as on when on basis. Engaged employee will put the matters, the concerns of the organization before their own personal concern. What exactly does it mean? It is going to cut down your cost and pull your cost much down. We'll be more innovative with an engaged customers. Engaged employments drives innovation, drives optimism. People with who are engaged will think out of the box and come up with probable solution, which will be in favor of the organization time. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.